Was it longer than the one you didn't read from someone selling you? Was it about the same? Was there any bold part? Were there any bullets or numbers? Was there a captivating line at the beginning and end and a call to action? Because even if you're sending something internally to your team, you need to tell them what you want them to do, when, and how you'll evaluate it. So yes, you still need a call to action, even on internal stuff.
Bullshit.
It's time to test your storytelling. Let's see how you do with this self-assessment on your messaging. It's the No BS Marketing Show. I'm Dave Mastovich, CEO and founder of Massolutions, the world's only no bullshit marketing firm. Yes, it's that time of year as we go into a holiday season and then a new year. I want to make sure that you test your storytelling and see how you do with a self-assessment. Are you ready? Okay, go into your email, whether it's Gmail, Outlook, go into there and search someone you know is a salesperson that's been pitching you, not someone you've been buying from. Go ahead, think of that name. Enter their name into the search bar, and you should see a multitude of emails come up because that salesperson has probably sent you multiple touches. You're going to pick a couple of them, so go ahead, grab one, look at it. How much of it would you legitimately have read the first time? Do you recall? And how much of it did you read this time? What did you like about it? What would you have ignored? How long is it? Take a little note, either a mental note or in your phone notes, or jot something down about what you thought the length was. If you want to get completely specific, go ahead and copy that email, pop it into whatever word processor you use, whether it's Word or Pages, and then click word count. That's a good way to really get an assessment. If you barely read that email and it was 300 words, 400 words, 500 words, then you know that when you're selling, what length are you most likely to read? Go ahead, do it with the second email and take a look at it, and maybe take the time to copy and paste into that Word or Pages file so you can get the word count. Why are you doing this as part of your self-assessment of your messaging? Because the next step would be for you to take an email you sent to anyone. That's what's beautiful about this self-assessment. Go ahead, find one you sent to your boss, or find one you sent to your team. Find one you sent to a client or someone you're trying to get to be a client. When you look at those and you take this 1.5 to 2 minutes to copy and paste one or two of those, get your word count. Look at how long it was. Was it longer than the one you didn't read from someone selling you? Was it about the same? Was there any bold part? Were there any bullets or numbers? Was there a captivating line at the beginning and end and a call to action? Because even if you're sending something internally to your team, you need to tell them what you want them to do, when, and how you'll evaluate it. So yes, you still need a call to action, even on internal stuff. So that's the first part of your self-assessment of testing your storytelling, is to go and look at least 2 emails of people selling you, preferably 2 different people. Copy and paste those into your Word or your Pages word processor. Click word count. Maybe jot some notes of what you liked and what you didn't like and how it impacted you. Then go and pick an email you sent to your team, an email you sent to your boss, an email you sent to a client, and one you sent to a prospective client. and take a look at how they matched up. So from an email standpoint, a couple of quick things. Your subject matters. Make it relevant, not perfunctory. Make it meaningful, make it compelling. Second, keep it short. Less is more. Third, use bullets or numbers so there's white space and the eye gravitates towards it. Fourth, have a strong open. Fifth, have a call to action of what you want that person to do and when. Now that's your self-assessment of your storytelling from an email standpoint. Now, go find a video from someone selling you something. If they haven't sent you the video in their email, or if they don't use something like BombBomb, go to their website. Find a video that is tied to what you may or may not buy from them. Click on that video. You're going to do the same thing you did with the emails. I want you to see how long you watched it. What was compelling to you? How long until you started tapping your finger and thinking of what you would do next, and maybe your mind started wandering? What was compelling? What wasn't? Do the same thing with a second person pitching you. Then grab your videos, the ones you have on your website, the ones you send to clients and prospective clients. Click those on. See if their length was similar. See if their visual variety was similar. See if they had a strong open and a close. See if they had a call to action telling what you wanted to have happen. This is your second test of your storytelling, of your messaging, by testing your videos. Third, pull up the most recent presentation deck you either presented or that was presented to you, that you were on the receiving end of that deck. Take a look at that deck. Hopefully it's the one you were on the receiving end of. Think back to when you were in that presentation and the person was going through their deck. How long until you were bored? At what slide did you look at your phone? When did you lose interest? Now look at your deck. See if it's similar to that deck in structure, in length, in what's on a slide, in how many words are on a slide. What you're going to do to improve your decks, you're going to use visual variety. I tell people that they should have a template built of 4 or 5 slides, and one is a template of when you have only a big image on a slide. Because if you have a big image that's memorable, say Dr. Evil saying $1 million, that visual can be up when you're making the point about the price or how much it costs or something to that effect. Now, I'm not telling you to use the Dr. Evil video. I've used that. I'm saying you take an image, just an image, a big image that you can talk about. That's one templated slide. Another is an image with 3 words on it. So the image is shaded slightly in the background, and 3 words are across that slide. 3 words that you can talk about at length. A third type of slide is one that has the actual heading, and it has then bullets under it or numbered under it, where you can have 3 or 5 points made up, because odd even psychologically works for us as consumers of content. So now you've got those 3 types of slides. You've got the ability to have a slide that has the big image. You've got one that has a big image and maybe 3 words. You've got one that has just 1 word or maybe a sentence. And then you've got your 4th one that has the title of it and then either 3 bullets or 5 bullets or 3 numbers or 5 numbers. That's how you improve your deck. But you've done the self-analysis and the self-test by looking at a deck that was presented to you and a deck that you presented. Now, the 4th and final part of the self-test is think back to the last meeting that you were in as a guest. You weren't running the meeting. Think about how that meeting went. What were the interactions in that meeting? How much were you pulled into that meeting to say what you thought and what you felt? And if it was a great meeting, excellent. Write down everything that was great about it. Then think of another meeting that was not so great and write down everything that wasn't great about it. You have to have an agenda when you're running that meeting, no matter who that meeting is with. If it's a one-to-one with your closest confidant on the team, you should still have a quick agenda. You should have a couple of key points that you want to make. You want to open the meeting strong with a sentence or two of why the group is meeting and what you hope to achieve. Then you want to work through that agenda, and you want to follow the time close to that agenda. You want to read the body language of the people. Even though it's on Zoom and they're not in the meeting with you, you can still read their body language and how attentive they are. You want to pull people in with open-ended questions. You want to take your meetings to a whole nother level. That's the fourth part of your self-test. So now you've tested your storytelling. You have tips to take it to another level. It's time for you to start implementing it right now so that you go into 2021 ready to rock and roll with your meetings, with your emails, with your videos, with your decks. Thanks for listening to another episode of the No Bullshit Marketing Show, recorded in our studios in the Lair in bold, beautiful downtown Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Remember, ask yourself, what's the big idea? And build your story around the answer. It's all about bold solutions, no BS.